Good morning, everyone. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So, the first thing I want to talk about this morning is a little bit of good news. I speak with friends and colleagues all over the nation just about every week, honestly. We're a pretty close-knit bar, and one of the things that we have been talking about, because some of us have been seeing it, is that we have seen approvals come out of USCIS, approvals for applications for individuals that are part of that list of 39 that are on the pause list. And there's a list of 39 countries where USCIS has paused their adjudications for so they can conduct further background checks and further security vetting. So we've seen a handful of those getting approved last week. So that is good news. The second thing I want to talk to you all about, though, however, is so with good news, there's always maybe some not so good news. The next thing, though, is we have also seen and heard from adjudication officers at local offices that there was internal guidance that more security vetting, more enhanced security vetting would be taking place, and that they have a sort of a hold on applications until this enhanced security vetting process is in place and completed. So what we're sort of unofficially seeing are a hold on adjustment applications. That's the last step in your green card process before your green card is approved and then your card is actually printed, and asylum cases. This is all just sort of anecdotal, what other colleagues, what we've been seeing. We haven't heard anything official from USCIS yet, but I wanted to let you all know that is what we're seeing sort of across the country, and what we've heard from a few different officers within USCIS that they don't have the authority right now to approve some of these applications because of a new sort of increased security vetting. So we'll keep you up to date on that, as we kind of know things, as we kind of hear things. So something good, maybe something not so good, to, sort of talk about in terms of applications getting processed. Even though there's a pause, even though there's a hold, even though there's more security vetting, that does not mean that these applications cannot be filed. So that is very important to know and to understand. There may be a pause once the application reaches the Immigration Service. It does not mean that you cannot file an application if you believe that you meet the qualifications for the green card or for asylum or for naturalization or for a non-immigrant visa. So just keep that in mind. I've been telling people that just because there's a pause doesn't mean that you cannot file. It just means that you need a strategy. It means that you need a strategy when you are filing. Next thing I want to talk to you all about is the World Cup. If you have purchased tickets and you want to come into the U.S. to see some of the World Cup games, there is a special website set up by the State Department specifically for people who are coming into the U.S. to watch the games. So it's a special website set up for you to schedule your visa appointment. It is only for individuals that have purchased their tickets officially from FIFA. If you have purchased from resellers or scalpers, this website will not work for you. So it must be that you have purchased your ticket directly from the official FIFA channels. If you are one of the 39 countries where there is a pause, you do not, having the FIFA tickets does not qualify you for an exemption. It does not mean that you should not try to apply, but it just means that it's not going to be an automatic exemption. If you are trying to visit from a country that now has bonds in place for those folks that are coming over for visitor visas, this does not disqualify you for the bond. You will still need to have the bond in place and paid if your visa is approved. If you're applying through this FIFA website, you must apply through the country that you are a national of or that you are legally residing in. And I shouldn't have to say this, but I absolutely will. If you apply through this website, it is just a website so that the State Department knows that the main purpose of your visit is to come to the FIFA games. It does not in any way, shape, or form guarantee that your visa will be approved. So it is still the same visa process. The same things are looked at, the same security vetting is done. It is just that the Department of State is trying to separate out individuals who are applying for a visa specifically because they have FIFA tickets and they want to come see the game. So it's really State Department trying to be nice, okay, trying to be nice and giving those folks that are, have purchased tickets and that are trying to come in a way to get their visas processed relatively quickly. But it is by no means guaranteed that your visitor visa will be approved if you use this website. And so again, in order to use this website, you need to have purchased your tickets from official FIFA sources, not scalpers, not resellers. And if your country is subject to a bond, then that bond will still need to be paid. And you need to be applying in your country of nationality or your country of legal residence. So if you're coming in to watch the games, have a great time. The last thing I want to talk to you all about is that USCIS is actively running background checks for individuals who are applying for non-immigrant petitions. So if you're applying for HSLs, O's, P's, and you're in the U.S., in all the non-immigrant categories, USCIS can and will be running background checks. They can always ask for biometrics, and we've seen this in our practice where they have asked for biometrics maybe on a green card application, but maybe they're not asking for something that came up as a result of those biometrics until we are next filing, let's say, an extension of a non-immigrant application for that same beneficiary. So I say this to you all so that you understand, if you are the employer, it is not unusual now to see requests for criminal court proceedings with respect to your employees. If you are the employee, if you were arrested anytime after entering the U.S. For any sort of criminal action, USCIS is actively running background checks. They will ask for court documents so that they can review them, even if you are doing an extension, let's say, to your H, or an extension to your L, or an extension to your O. So it doesn't, and it may not be something, if the arrest may not have happened, within the last extension period. It could have happened, 6, 8, 10 years ago. But because they're now doing enhanced vetting and security vetting, now they're seeing them. And so they're not waiting until the green card application to have the conversation about them. So if you have had some criminal issues in the past and they haven't come up with any of your extension applications, now might be the time to affirmatively work with a lawyer and look at the potential impact of that criminal arrest if you have not done so already. But I did want to let you know that USCIS is in fact looking at, and they're actively, looking at biometric results and asking questions about criminal background checks for individuals that are here in non-immigrant status. We know they do it for those folks that are applying for green cards. That's not new. That's not different. That's not a surprise. I have, in almost 30 years of practice, rarely seen them ask about a criminal background check for an individual for a non-immigrant visa. So We're in a world of more enhanced security vetting, so it is in your best interest to be proactive about it, so that you can figure out what your strategy needs to be and figure out if there is any potential negative impact of a criminal background. So that is all I have for you this Monday morning. Have a great rest of your Monday morning. If you have any questions about potential criminal background, enhanced vetting, that sort of thing, extension applications, feel free to give our office a call. We are happy to help. And have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.